Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Hello, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday. I hope you're having a pleasant week. I hope you have some exciting plans that you're looking forward to this weekend. I just hope that you are feeling nice as you are entering my space, because knowing me, we're probably going to circle down into a deep, dark pit of despair. I'm kidding. But I hope you are just present with yourself and present with your feelings and content with that, and know that you're worthy enough to feel your feelings. Wow, I didn't know we were going to spiral right down into a little feelings fest, but here we are. Walnut, I hope you are having a happy Walnut Wednesday, regardless of anything that is going on, and thank you for your time and energy coming into my little world and having a chat with me this week. If you are new here, hello, my name is Lara, but you can call me Laz. I am your host for Walnut Wednesday, the podcast. Going through a bit of a strange shift, Walnut. And if you are new here, Walnut, as well, I have dabbled in, this is the 4th year of Walnut Wednesday, the podcast. And since it has started, I have dabbled in all sorts of little things. I've created workshops. I've self-published a book. I have been offering distance healings, originally Reiki, and then it morphed to distance healings. I've done some oracle card things. I've got, like one-on-one, just having a Wusa call type thing with me. I virtual assistanted. I work in corporate as an assistant, and now I'm a project coordinator. I've just kind of dabbled around, and I think in accepting my new job, and I've gone back to 9 to 5, actual 5 days of corporate work, I've had to really rethink of what Walnut Wednesday is going to be and what I want to do with it and everything. But the one thing, Walnut, that has always remained consistent and the same is this podcast where we are talking right now. I will always prioritize having one walnutting a week, one episode a week where we can chat and share about times when we have had to be brave. And sometimes that looks big, and sometimes that looks like a just small internal self-thought. So yeah, I've been struggling a little bit with this, because I'm like, that's my bare minimum, right? To have the podcast. But what does it mean for Walnut Wednesday as like my brand, as my umbrella for all the things, now that I've like dripped and drabbled and tried all these things, and I know what I enjoy and what I find difficult and what feels like a chore or whatever. What do I want it to be, right? Like, there's only so much merch one can sell, or, new things to launch to try and, make this a thing. So yeah, that's kind of what I've got going on this week, Walnut. And I think I've been reflecting a little bit of how I've been behaving in navigating sort of through this. And my walnutting this week is sort of like, Kari Russell said a quote in a masterclass recently, and she said, sometimes being able to hold it all means you need to put something down. And with that, Walnut, it's kind of like I've been trying so hard to do everything and to try everything and to see what works and make my brand make money while also having the security of working 9 to 5 and all this sort of thing, that I've kind of been choosing to put down the worry aspect of stuff and trying to consciously take a chill pill. So just like putting down the worry. And I think we talked last week a little bit about how I had my little moment that it feels so far away now, but it was only recently. But I had that moment in the car of where I just started bawling my eyes out and just being like, okay, This is what I'm doing. I'm just going to sit here in complete and utter despair and sorrow and feel my little feeling. This is kind of an ongoing piece of that, where it's kind of like, what will be will be. Let the seeds fall where they may. What will happen is what will happen, and what I'm doing now is present, is enough, is all that I need to be doing. And I just wrote down a couple of examples where I just had a bit of an attitude adjustment around this, where formerly, Walnut, and you might resonate with this, but I would walk around with this ball of I'm just so wound up tight. It's not anxious, but preempting of what might happen. I am the person, or I was the person, or I am usually the person that will notice the car going under a quarter of a tank of gas, so I will fill it up to half to make sure that there is enough. I noticed that the oats in the container are getting low. There's still enough for like 2 breakfasts, but I will go and buy more oats to replenish it, so that there is never that sense of running out, right? It's that I am typically, or have been typically, that preemptive person. And so, running around with this thought of like just being totally present has been a bit of an experience. And I suppose that is the walnutting that I wanted to share this week, of little moments where I had to put the worry down. So the car didn't start, as you recall. It was a faulty battery. It wasn't anything else. It was just, it's done its dash, my little battery. So there was a point in time, and a couple of my friends will remember, where it was like this, I changed it to this fun little game of, will my car start or will it not? And went and bought jumper leads and tried to just embody this, like, if it doesn't start, it's no big deal. I'll just jump start it. Instead of, what if my car doesn't start? How am I going to get to work? How am I going to... It was just, I wonder if my car will start, and then really, really thanking, Bronnie will remember this, like really thanking my car and being like, thank you so much for starting and changing it into this like fluffy experience. And how driving my car around is actually just like, it was so good for my car, and my car was enjoying it, and I was enjoying it, and it started, and all that kind of stuff. So that was one kind of example. And like, as a little reward to kind of like celebrate that moment, because there was a good like weekend of like, will she, won't she? I'm trying to get my vehicle to function. Geordie bought the wrong size battery or something like that, so I had to go and exchange it. And that day, the day of like, will she, won't she start, we went into the shop again to exchange it for the right size, and brought the actual car in so that we could measure it properly and things, and even got like a discount even got a discount on that. That's a whole other story about men and women, but again, I think Bronte and I had a good chuckle about that. But anyway, got a discount on the battery, which was the little thing. And then I was, it's like, okay, I have embodied this, like, I wonder if my car will start energy. Like, I wonder what will happen to me today energy, or like putting down the worry energy. It was almost like the universe was like, okay, she wants to embody this. Let's see what else we can shove up her butt to see if she's really serious about putting this worry down. Before I go on holiday, Walnut, I probably told you a million times before, I like to do the things, the lotions, the potions, do the nails, get a Brazilian, get a lash, not extension, get a lash lift. I like to do all the goddessy things. So on holiday, I can just feel like a divine little banana and flop around and do my holiday thing. So I get my nails done, and they're beautiful. Like, and I'd been having that thing of nails where I've been picking at my cuticles, doing all the body stress things. Get my nails done. They're all beautiful and long and witchy and delicious. And within like 24 hours, and my nail lady is like my favorite, amazing person in the world. She's so good at her job. She didn't do anything out of the ordinary that I can sort of think of. And I didn't do anything out of the ordinary that I could sort of think of too. Like my line one investigator brain kind of like has picked up on a couple blah, 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 blah. That's irrelevant. I got my nails done within 24 hours. Literally it wasn't just like the normal ones that are normally the first to kind of flick off. Every single one had broken off at the tip. It was as if like the glue and my nails just weren't agreeing. Every single one had flipped off. And I was going on holiday the following week and I couldn't get in to get them redone that same weekend. So stressful, normal thing, right? Like, okay, do I pick them all off and just paint them and then worried about having chipped nails on my holiday? Do I, previous anxiety brain making up all the stories? But I ended up obtaining my putting down the worry brain. And it was all I behaved the whole weekend like I did with my car. Will they break off? Won't they break off? Will the rest of them break off? Won't they break off? Will my car start? Won't it start? Will I get an appointment? Won't I get an appointment? Not fretting about what was going to happen. Anyway, I ended up getting an appointment the day before going on holiday and opted to just not get the tips instead, like in case that it happened again and I had to worry about having them broken on holiday. So I just got painted over my little stubby sausage nails and that was that. And I was okay with it. I accepted it and everything was fine. With my lash lift Walnut, I have very sensitive little soft like eyes. And so I mentioned to the lady, it was a new lady that I hadn't had a lash lift from before. And I said, I have very sensitive eyes, la la. And I told her when it was stinging a little bit and la la la. Anyway, the night before going on holiday, and I got home and they were a bit puffy and sore. And she said, take an antihistamine. So I did. It was a bit more like puffy and sore than normal. Anyway, when I arrived at my holiday destination, I had noticed a little bit of, it was like my eyelid had been burnt a little bit where the product was. And I had little, not scabs, but when you graze yourself, it was like that. When you graze like a sensitive part of your like not your face, your skin, and a little kind of scab goes over. It was like that. So I was not able to wear makeup on my holiday, which from previous walnuttings, as you remember, is something I have walnutted on already. And again, fretting. Oh, we want to go out to this dinner and take photos, and I won't be able to put on mascara. I just went, put down the worry. That's what happened. I got a lash lift. My lashes have been lifted. They still look glorious. I still feel like a goddess angel banana. So what? Right? Like putting this in, it sounds so weird, Walnut, but like you can imagine if you get a beauty procedure done and then like something like fucks up and you're like, just how stressful that is for you to maintain and manage, especially on your face. So again, put the worry down. Just on a work front as well, it's a like quite a bitchy little time. Like people are getting a little bit testy with each other and stuff, and I'm just like, water for ducks back, one thing at a time. Put the worry down. This is not my concern. Put the worry down, just do my job. And it was even sort of like for my holiday, I normally like ring Kate and send her a full list and videos of my packing. And she was like messaging me like, how's your packing going? Like almost worried for me because I hadn't been in contact. And I was like, you know what? I just threw it into my suitcase. If I forget something, so be it. And I like, honestly, I think Kate, when you hear this, let me know if you were actually shocked or not at my behavior. But I was really embodying this. Putting the worry down. What is drink every time I say put the worry down, Walnut? This is my biggest walnutting and my theme this week is put the worry down. Even with things like getting to the airport, we had like 5 minutes till the check-in was closing or whatever. We were 5 minutes away, but we had to go into the parking and again, I was in my head going, we'll get to the airport when we get to the airport. It will be fine. Like, it's such a relaxed space to be in. Just Kevin has brought in some of my leggings that he's proceeding to chew on. I'm going to wrap up in a second, Walnut, while Kevin devours my lovely leggings and I itch my psoriasis. Bloody hell, naughty boy. Who's being a naughty pug? Kevin. And then countless times of just like leaving late and arriving on time, like with getting a parking space because I've left too late, or because Geordie hasn't been able to drive to work, so I've had to drive in, and I've managed to get a car park when normally I wouldn't get one. All of these sort of like little things that normally would be such a pain in the butt and a bother that I have to overthink and do extra stuff, such as like the coffee in the hotel room was like a bit old or something, like it was like yucky. So I just drank a tea. I just drank a herbal tea instead. Rather than being like, oh my God, there's no cover on the hotel room, got to ring reception, got to go do all this stuff. I was just like, I'll just have a tea. And how just, it's not even liberating, Walnut. It is just how unwindicled I kind of am by embracing this, putting the worry down and putting all these additional just like weights that I have on my shoulder down. And it's like that embodiment of being totally present. And I've talked to that like image of like the future, the past, and only holding the one rock of holding the presence and letting go of the past and letting go of the future and just holding that one present moment. And that's kind of what keeps coming up to me this week as I'm experiencing these little, really small little instances of where it's not a big deal. And I think we get so caught up in the noise of like our 3D muggle world of work, of family life, of everything, that it's like, it's not a big deal. And then in complete contrast, we talk about the mental load and all those kinds of other things that get to us. But yeah, I've kind of been reflected back on like, yeah, is this a big deal? And I think that kind of that's a whole different topic. I will note down what I'm trying to think of and say in a more articulated way, Walnut, and share that part with you. But for now, my walnutting this week is, quote, Kari Russell, sometimes being able to hold it all means being able to put something down. And I have chosen to put down worry. I'm going to, what? Raising my arms up. I think that's it. I think we'll call that a day before I waffle myself and you into a big waffle fest. Walnut, have a happy Walnut Wednesday. If you enjoyed this episode, please share. If you have any commentary or any examples of times when you've put down the worry and what's kind of happened, leave late, arrive on time, I'd love to hear them. Jump into the walnut tree. Feel free to share. Go nuts in there. Go do a live video. Post a meme. Do whatever you want in there. I love hearing from you, Walnut, and I just want you to know that you are brave and you are special and you are wonderful and you are a walnut. And I know that life makes us feel like we're not sometimes. So hang on to those small moments. They make a difference. Every small thing makes a difference, right? So I started waffling again. Have a happy Walnut Wednesday. I will talk to you next week, or in the Walnut Tree, or on the social medias. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Have a great Walnut Wednesday.